It's big, it's bold, and it's very, very orange. Hello and welcome back to the Daytona YouTube channel. My name is Barry Ferreira, and today we're going to be having a look at this very, very bright orange Aston Martin DBX707. So here we are, the DBX707, Aston Martin's flagship SUV. Now we're going to be having a little discussion about the dynamic performance, the styling of the car, the brakes, the clutch, the engine of course, and the interior of the car to try and convey exactly what makes this car so impressive, not just for an SUV, but a performance car as a whole. There's a lot to delve into, so here we go. So I suppose you need to start off with the engine. It is the heart of the car after all. It makes use of a 4-litre twin-turbo V8 producing 707 PS or 520 kilowatts and produces a spellbinding 900 Newton meters of torque, which just so happens to be as much that is produced by an Aston Martin Valkyrie hypercar in the shape of an SUV. That is very, very impressive indeed. Now, that means it can go from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 3.3 seconds. For a car that weighs 2.2 tons, that is beyond impressive if you ask me. Not just for an SUV, but for a performance car. Not too long ago, that was supercar performance. Now, of course, with increased power comes increased cooling, and the DBX707 has undergone quite a bit of change compared to that of the DBX V8. The engine has got 50% increased capacity for cooling because when you push this car, believe you me, it's going to need that cooling. Of course, a much bigger grille than that on the DBX V8. In addition to that, it has 25% larger turbochargers to increase that power, of course, to the 707 PS or 520 kilowatts. It also has 2 extra radiators. So all in all, you know that even though you've got that increased power, you've got the cooling to ensure that the engine is always at its optimal operating range. Now, in addition to the engine that has undergone a few notable changes, it's also worth talking about the clutch that is in this car. It doesn't make use of a conventional torque converter, but it now makes use of a 9-speed automatic transmission that has a wet clutch. Now, the reason why that is significant is because the wet clutch is the same kind of technology used in race cars and supercars, and it's in this, a performance SUV. So why did Aston Martin opt for a wet clutch in the DBX707? Well, for 2 notable reasons. Firstly, it offers better gear change time. It has 30% faster gear changes than that of DBX V8. And in addition to that, it gives better off-the-line acceleration, which is of course the reason this car can do 0 to 100 in 3.3 seconds. As I mentioned earlier, the DBX weighs about 2.2 tons, which means it's a large amount of mass that needs to be stopped, particularly when it goes as quickly as this car can. So these bad boys are required to ensure you stop as quickly as you need to stop. These are carbon ceramic brakes finished on the DBX707, and they last 3 times longer than normal steel brakes. Now, the reason they do this is because they have a silicon carbide coating, which is one of the hardest substances on Earth. So you can have full confidence in these brakes that you see here next to me. Not only do the carbon ceramic brakes last longer, they're also lighter than ordinary steel brakes. Overall, the brakes on DBX707 are 33 kilograms lighter. You save 20 kilograms at the front and 13 kilograms at the rear. And to add even more confidence to the driver to know that this car can stop sufficiently is the fact that it is durability tested to up to 600 degrees Celsius. Let's have a little discussion about the styling of DBX707 and the differences between this and DBX V8. Now, overall, the styling is a lot more aggressive compared to DBX V8, which is a lot more chilled, comfortable kind of car. The front lights have been changed. On DBX707, it's the one vertical light on, or the daytime running light, should I rather say, on each side of the vehicle compared to that of the more circular design on DBX V8. When you look at the rear, of course, we've got this extra spoiler to provide downforce for the car, as well as this massive rear diffuser that we see on which is quite unusual on a luxury SUV, but of course that shows the intent of DBX707. In addition to that, you've got your quad exhaust pipes that we have compared to the single exhaust pipes on each side of the rear of DBX V8. Then I think we should go into the interior to delve more about the changes and the details of that. Welcome to the interior of DBX707, and in here, even though this is a performance-oriented SUV, Aston Martin haven't neglected the luxury aspect of this car. I think that's what makes it such a unique proposition. It can be absolutely monstrous in terms of its performance and acceleration, but it's still a DBX at heart, meaning you can still put it in GT mode and cruise on a highway without compromising on comfort in terms of this case. Now, speaking of GT mode, DBX707 comes with 5 driving modes. You've got terrain mode, individual, GT, sport and sport plus. Of course, configuring each mode to your particular driving style and depending on the environment that you find yourself in. Now, besides the first impressive aspect of this car, which is the color, of course, which is called Synapse Orange, in case you were wondering, is the anti-roll system that is on DBX707. It features a 48-volt anti-roll system, which, get this, is stronger than that on the previous generation Aston Martin Vantage. And that just goes to show the intent and the level of engineering that has gone into DBX707 to make it as dynamically capable as possible, which might even surprise a few supercars. Now, inside this particular example is the perfect blend of performance and luxury. You've got a combination of obsidian black Alcantara and leather, but you also have your orange stitching to complement the exterior of the car, as well as the carbon fiber paddles, which you can use when you are going more spiritedly on your favorite driving road. In addition to the carbon fiber panels, you also have the 2x2 carbon fiber twill featured here on the center console, as well as on the doors, on the front, as well as on the rear. And there you go, a very brief overview of this, the Aston Martin DBX707 performance SUV. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you'd like any more information, feel free to contact us using the details in the description below, or come and visit us here at Aston Martin Johannesburg at Melrose Arch. If you like the video, make sure to like, share and subscribe to make sure as many people as possible know of the cars that we have here on offer at Daytona. And we'll see you again very, very soon.